New IELTS speaking questions for May 2020 for part 2. In this video I'm going to be introducing 20 new questions for you for people, places, things, activities and experiences. I always put them under these 5 categories because this helps you to prepare. Instead of thinking that there are 20 unrelated questions, I'd like you to think that there are 20 questions that come under 5 different themes. And so, for instance, one of the topics about a person could be answered in the same way or similar way as another of the topics about a person. Not only this, I've got some videos that guide you about how to answer questions under these different themes, linked below. Okay, so let's start with questions about people.
Describe a person you read about in a book. You should say what book you read, who the person is, what the book says about the person, and explain what sort of person this is.
Describe someone who you have lived with before. You should say who this person is, when you lived with this person, why you lived with this person, and explain how you felt about living with this person. Describe an interesting neighbor. You should say who this person is, how you know this person, how often you see this person, and explain why you feel this person is interesting. Describe a creative person that you admire. You should say who this person is, how you got to know this person, why you think he or she is creative, and explain why you admire this person. Describe a new friend you made recently. You should say when it happened, who the friend is, how you met, and explain how you feel about your friend.
Questions about places.
Describe a place where there are many decorations. You should say what place it is, where it is located, what decorations it has, and explain how you feel about this place. Describe a lively place. You should say where this place is, who you went there with, what you did there, and explain why you think it was lively. Describe a place you visited that is affected by pollution. You should say where it is, when you visited this place, what kinds of pollution you saw there, and explain how this place is affected by pollution. Describe a city you went to recently. You should say where it is, when you went there, why you went there, and explain how you felt about it. Describe a tall building you like or dislike. You should say where it is, what it is used for, what it looks like, and explain why you like or dislike it.
Questions about things.
Describe a method that helps you memorize things. You should say what this method is, when you started to use it, how you use this method, and explain why it helps you memorize things. Describe a book that you would like to read again. You should say what book it is, what it is about, when you read it for the first time, and explain why you would like to read it again. Describe an advertisement you have seen recently. You should say when you saw it, where you saw it, what was advertised, and explain how you felt about it. Describe a technology product you used before. You should say what it is, when you got it, when you use it, and explain why you like it or not.
Questions about activities.
Describe an art or craft activity you did at school. You should say when you did this activity, what this activity was, how you did it, and explain how you felt about this activity.
Questions about experiences.
Describe the weather that you do not like most. You should say what sort of weather it is, when it normally occurs, why you do not like it, and explain how this type of weather makes you feel. Describe a time when you were misunderstood. You should say when it was, who misunderstood you, why you were misunderstood, and explain how you felt about it. Describe a time you needed to use imagination. You should say what the situation was, why you needed to use imagination, what you imagined, and explain how you felt about it. Describe a time when you felt nervous. You should say when this happened, who you were with, what you were doing, and explain why you felt nervous. Describe a time someone or something made a lot of noise. You should say when this happened, who the person was, what this thing was, what kinds of noise it was, and explain what you did when you heard the noise.
I've also got a video on how you can use these sample questions linked below, but just briefly, the way I recommend that you use these questions are to look at the question first and think about how you would answer it. For instance, what would you choose to talk about? And I always recommend that you choose something that's familiar to you and something that is likely to bring out high-level language. Pick something in an area where you have talent. You can think about language for the topic, especially adjectives, since the first word is always describe. Note how every single question, every single cue card starts with the word describe. You can think about idiomatic expressions because these help boost your score for vocabulary. You can also think about tense. That can sometimes be useful. Usually questions can be answered in present, past or future tense. Sometimes you need a combination. Now, these are just the questions. I'm only giving you questions today. I'm going to be creating model answers. If you want to get updates for the model answers, make sure you subscribe and click on the alert button so you get updates as I release the model answers for these questions. It's going to be coming up real soon. And I'm also going to be releasing questions for part 1 and part 3. If you've got any questions and comments, please put them beneath this video. I'm happy to answer them for you. Make sure that you click on like if you liked the video, and don't forget to subscribe to me. Good luck with your test preparation.